So this is one story you likely never heard before. Did you know General Yakubu Gowon once had a male child outside his marriage in 1968? Gowon would go on to deny the paternity of this child and continue to deny until 43 years after. Well, here's the backstory. As we all know, General Yakubu Gowon was the former military head of state between 1967 to 1975. He got married to the beautiful lady called Victoria Anzatu Zakari in 1969, and at the time of their marriage, Victoria was just 22 years old, becoming the youngest ever first lady in Nigerian history, while Yakubu Gowon was 33 years old, becoming the youngest head of state at the time. They both got married in 1969 during the Biafran Civil War, but before Gowon met and married Victoria, he once had a girlfriend he was dating. At the time, he hasn't become the head of state. This lady was Idet Ike. She was from the Igbo tribe. She and Gowon was in a romance relationship and on the verge of getting married. They were still planning their lives when the counter coup happened in 1966, a coup that saw Aguiyi-Ironsi's assassination by the Hausa military officers. So Yakubu Gowon was made the next head of state with the plan that Edith was going to be the first lady. But along the line, the anti-Igbo crisis started, a crisis that saw Igbos being brutalized and treated badly outside their region. The anti-Igbo massacre led to Ojukwu declaring independence of Biafra, something that Gowon wasn't really happy about, so Gowon declared war against Biafra. But Edith, who was also Igbo and Gowon's girlfriend at the time, was against Gowon's decision to fight her people. She was always in support of her tribe, her own Igbo people. Edith and Gowon's romance relationship began to decline, so Gowon admitted that the anti-Igbo crisis made him doubt whether he could trust his Igbo girlfriend or not. This eventually led to their breakup in 1967. Meanwhile, Edith already had a pregnancy for Gowon. She even gave birth to a male child named Musa Gowon in 1968. But Gowon denied the paternity of the child, stating that he was not the father. Gowon went on to tie the knot with Victoria Zakari, his new girlfriend, a year after on April 19, 1969. They had two children together, Zaratu and Ibrahim Gowon. Even though Edith continued to claim that Yakubu Gowon was the father, he denied having anything with her. Edith Ike later filed a paternity suit against Gowon, alleging that Gowon was the father of her son Musa, who was born a year before Gowon's wedding. Though Edith won the case, but Gowon still refused to take the child, so Edith has to raise the child alone. Then in the 1980s, Musa Gowon relocated to UK to study as a young man in his 20s, but he eventually got involved in drug smuggling and was sentenced to 40 years in prison in 1992. He was 23 years old at the time. The news of his imprisonment got to Nigeria, becoming some sort of embarrassment to Yakubu Gowon himself. But Gowon was still adamant that Musa was his son and refused to help him out of prison. Musa Gowon remained in US prison, and while in custody, he lost his mother to cancer in 2003. Musa Gowon was later released in 2016 after being granted a presidential pardon by President Obama. He has served a total of 23 years in prison and was already 42 years old at the time. He finally returned to Nigeria on January 1st, 2016 to start a new life without his mother and a father in denial. But later that year, a DNA test was conducted on Musa Gowon. The test revealed that Yakubu Gowon was the father of Musa Gowon. Yakubu finally acknowledged Musa's paternity after almost 48 years of denial. He would later go on to tender an apology statement for denying paternity of a child he had since 1968, 48 years down the line.